Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Wright, and this is the November 2024 edition of Sports Done Right.
This is Sports Done Right. SCTV sports anchor Doug Wright brings you expanded coverage of Sun City athletic action and introduces us to some of our Sun City neighbors who share their sports story.
Legendary thinker and writer Ralph Waldo Emerson has been quoted as saying, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." In other words, be proactive rather than reactive. This month, we will profile a fairly recent resident of Sun City who has already left his mark and left a trail for others to follow. But first, let's visit with the Sun City Croquet Club to see how it is evolving and also learn a little bit about shot making and strategy and the events in which the club's membership participates. Well, Jim, you are the president of the Croquet Club. In a couple of more months, you'll be emeritus, which is the best position available. But tell us the status of the club these days.
Well, the club is doing well. We've got over 100 members, and our year is very back-end loaded. So we've got our club championships coming up actually this week. They start on Tuesday. So we have a women's division, and then we have an open division.
Okay, and
Hotly contested.
Also over the past couple of years, you've had some what I would call off-campus exhibitions. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Well, we have our Christmas party coming up in early December. That's over at River Bend. And we just were represented at the club fair, which was very successful. We met a lot of new potential members.
Okay, but off-campus, you've members of the CCC, you've had some outings.
Yes, right. We do. We are members of the Coastal Carolina Croquet Association, and that includes Bishop Gadsden, Datow, Spring Island, Wexford, and we do have back and forth events with those clubs. And we've actually done very well. We had a competition in the spring, which we won, because we have a lot of good croquet players here.
Yes, you do, and the lawn's look in reasonable shape for this time of year. One of the more interesting aspects of your tenure has been the relaxation of the all whites rule. Tell us what went on there.
Well, there was a lot of pushback from the membership saying they didn't want to stay with the all white. We had a vote, and it was 33 against and 1 for. So we made a change, and now whites are encouraged, but they're not required. So if you're a new potential member, you no longer have to wear white.
Okay, but they are required, so to speak, for tournaments and official outings.
Yes, if we're doing an inter-club event, always safest to wear whites, because some of our reciprocal clubs do still require it.
Okay.
But not here.
Okay, and we are here on a Sunday, which is your standard weekly wine and wickets.
Correct. So we'll probably get about 18 to 20 members out today, I would think.
Going to be hard enough, I don't believe, but good shot. I'm red. The idea is to get set up on wicket number 1 so you and your teammate can act collaboratively to be first through the wicket. Once you're through the wicket, that wicket's done. Not everybody has to go through. Now she's going to hit me. Black, but we'll see. And the excitement is overwhelming. Well, I tried to block black from hitting yellow. See what happens. And she eked it through, and we're ahead 1-0. My partner Maria is going to help me out here. All right, Bonnie's going to try and knock my red ball out now.
Nice shot.
Well, those last two shots were just a hair long. We're ahead 3-0, so I'm pretty stoked right now. Nice shot, Maria. She's got an option here. She can knock yellow out or get set up. Not sure what she's going to do. Black has got a long shot no matter what she tries. Maria's going to try and get blue out so that blue doesn't hit me. Great shot. Fall champions were crowned not only in croquet, but also in the horseshoe club. Congratulations to these fine players of each sport. The Sun City Swim Club has expanded not only its active membership roles, but also its list of certified swimming instructors to meet the growing needs of the club. Recently, we spoke to Nancy Forrester, the president of the club, about these changes, the adoption of directed lessons for different strokes, and upcoming competitions for the club's more experienced and competitive members. Nancy, it's good to see you again, and we're checking up on our usual checkup of the swim club and its status. So how's the club doing?
Oh, we're just doing awesome. We've got about 83 members, and we had a successful club fair last Saturday. Lots of people stopped by, and we expect to get some more members who will start at 2 o'clock. So.
And are you basically still following the same paths you have before in terms of training at various levels, or have you got something new and different?
We have been doing something new and different since June, and we're going to continue doing it. We conducted an 8-week freestyle series that built freestyle from scratch, starting with body position, kicking, pulling, rotating, breathing, and then the timing of it all. And now we're taking just a little couple-week break, and then we're going to start another series for backstroke that won't be quite as long. And we've added aquafit to it. We've added lots of core engagement exercises that really have been appreciated by the swimmers significantly.
Yeah, I've talked to a few, and they love this whole program and the workout they get and so forth. Now, as I recall, before you came to Sun City, you were more of a runner than a swimmer, and but you're now a swimmer.
That is true, yes. I run just a couple days a week, a little bit, but nothing the way I used to.
Okay, now, in addition to all the wonderful programs you run for enthusiastic members, there are competitions, and there was one scheduled for October down in Orlando. What happened?
Well, Hurricane Milton made it be canceled, and they're going to reschedule it. We don't know exactly when. And we had 4 swimmers signed up, and I was one of them, and I plan to go whenever it's rescheduled, if I possibly can. So,
well, that's a few less than usual that sign up.
yes, we often have. These days, since I've been in the club, we've had 15 people go to Savannah to the Walt Weed meet, and so, but people either are away or they get injured or they age out, but we're not gone yet at all.
Well, I know.
We love it to have a gang of people and have the camaraderie of a swim meet, and everybody just encouraging everybody else.
Well, that's fantastic.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, Nancy, as always,
I know you're going to be busy here this afternoon,
but thanks so much for your time
and for what you're doing
for this club, and we wish you all the luck in the future.
Well, I
have another announcement to make.
And that is
we have 4 new coaches in training
that
have 3 of them so far have taken the level 2 USMS certification, and one will take it later this year, and they're all on deck beginning to coach workouts, and it is bringing great relief to
Cynthia
Smith and I, because we were the only ones coaching for a while.
Okay, that is
great news.
Really good.
Okay, well,
Once again, thanks.
Thanks very much, and have a great day.
Last month, we also spoke to Roy Powers about his leadership of the Pickle Tennis SIG of the Pickleball Club. Well, Roy Powers, you have been the president of the Pickle Tennis Group or Club for 4 years now, and how's the club doing?
Oh, we're doing very good. We now have about almost 150 people that play pickle tennis now.
Oh, that's a good number, man. I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, they play about once a week. A lot of them just play once a week. Some play twice a week. Some play every single day. So it's going very well.
And for those of the newcomers, etc., who don't know what pickle tennis is, tell us about the game itself.
Well, pickle tennis was invented about 6 or 7 years ago by a Sun City resident, Ron LaCayla, and it's a cross between tennis and pickleball. And it's for people who can't play tennis anymore. They just can't cover the ground, and that pickleball going back and forth is a little bit too dangerous for them. Okay, so they switch over to us, and we play on a pickleball court, but it's smaller. The kitchen is out of bounds for us.
Oh, really?
For all those who know what the kitchen is.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're doing all right. Now, what do you have in terms of upcoming plans for tournaments or any other special event for this year or next?
Well, I'm glad you said that. I think it's October 17th. We have a luncheon over at Tailgaters that we're going to discuss our plans for the up-and-coming lottery season. So in a couple of weeks, I'll be better able to answer that question.
Well, I beat you to the punch by a couple of weeks. Okay. Well, is there anything else that we ought to know about pickle tennis that you'd like to impart to us?
Well, it's a great sport for people who really are not comfortable moving around fast and moving around a lot. They play on one side of the pickleball court, and they stay there, and they're able to get a lot of exercise and enjoy themselves and have a good social time.
All right. Well, thank you for your time today, and we'll be back with you and find out how it went in October. We also talked to Roy Powers in his role as president of the Bocce League about the new rules. Well, Roy, as president of the Bocce Club, you probably are the best guy to talk to about the recent publication of some new rules for the fall season for bocce.
I think mostly it was to go in line with the United States Bocce Federation rules when we looked at them. Oh, yeah. And it was simple things like people used to get 2 shots to throw the Pellini over the white line. Now they only get 1. The Pellini can't hit the backboard now. It used to be able to, and it used to have to be moved out 12 inches. All of this does speed up the game. But in the U.S. rules, it wasn't in there, so we just conforming and speeds up the game a lot.
And I know it's a short sample, but do they seem to be acceptable to everyone, and how's it been going?
Very few complaints. When there is a complaint, it's very loud, and you have to just explain it to them, okay? And most of the time, they just read the rule wrong, and they misinterpret it.
And how many members do you have in the Bocce Club?
Well, strange you should ask. At Club Fair, we just hit the 2,000 mark.
My God, that's got to be by far the largest club.
I don't know. I think I have no idea whether it's the largest, okay? We just keep using our 8 courts that we have and fitting people into play at their times, and hopefully when the new section is open, we get a few more courts.
Finally, I also had the privilege of speaking extensively with resident Joe Battista about his incredible successes in multiple sports, his careers in coaching and sports management, and the philosophy which he has adopted to achieve his goals. Well, Joe, it's good to see you this morning, and we're going to talk a little bit about your background, but we also want to get into some of the very unique things you've been able to do during your career. And tell us where you were raised.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I grew up in the town of Penn Hills, which was a very sports-oriented town. And, like every kid in Pittsburgh in the 60s and the 70s, you played baseball football. Those were the two big sports. My father was a minor league professional baseball player. Coached my brother and I all during our formative years, and so baseball was our primary sport. But I also tried football. I was a quarterback and a defensive back, but everybody else grew and I didn't. And then my dad ended up, taking us to a Pittsburgh Penguins game where they were a relatively new franchise, and they gave away free street hockey sticks. And we were hooked, and to this day, my dad says that was the most expensive free thing he ever got because my brother and I played for years.
Okay, and so how long have you lived here in Sun City?
It just celebrated our second anniversary, and love it. Just having a great time here.
Well, they don't have a hockey team here yet. Yeah. But, this is famous for if you got a passion, do something about it. But tell us, what did you do with your hockey passion? Where did that take you?
Well, I as a kid, you all think you're going to play in the pros, right? And so I started playing travel hockey, and was playing on all-star teams. I was the MVP of the Dapper Dan All-Star Classic in Pittsburgh, and you looked at all the football and basketball and wrestling guys, and they're all getting Division I scholarships, and so I just assumed, okay, everybody's going to come hunting me. I was very naive, didn't understand that nobody was coming to Pittsburgh for hockey players in that era. So, I ended up, by the grace of God, ending up at Penn State, where I played club hockey in the late 70s, early 80s. And it was a magnificent experience for me because I became the vice president and the president of the hockey club, which kind of gave me this passion for sports administration, sport management. Little did I know that was going to end up being my career. I went to Penn State to be a nuclear engineer.
Wow.
So, back in those days, we referred to that as pre-business. But so I did switch into business, and I found I was really fortunate to find a counselor who said, Joe, you should take this passion that you have. Just because you can't play pro hockey doesn't mean you can't work in the business. And I took that to heart. And when I graduated, I got an internship with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and ended up getting hired full-time, where I was in corporate sales, season ticket sales, that sort of thing. But that morphed into me becoming the director of amateur hockey development for the Penguins. So I was involved with youth hockey all over Western Pennsylvania, and eventually ended up coaching the junior Penguins as a 22-year-old head coach. In way over my head, but I loved it. I fell in love with it. My dad, like I said, he was a coach. So I got bit by the coaching bug in 1985. I left the Penguins, decided to go to grad school at Kent State, became an assistant hockey coach, went to Culver Military Academy, which I know you're familiar with, and was an assistant coach there. And then in 1987, my alma mater came calling, and I went to Penn State to become a hockey coach.
So you were the head coach at Penn State. How long did that last before, as you know, coaches are hired to be fired? But so in any event, so how long were you doing that?
I coached at Penn State for 19 years as the head coach, and we were in what was called the American Collegiate Hockey Association. We were not a varsity scholarship program at that time, but we were good. We played a lot of NCAA varsity teams and had a lot of success against them. We always referred to ourselves as the best varsity team that wasn't. So we were essentially like a Division III program at a Division I school. So I used to tell the players that we recruited that you get the best of both worlds here. You get the advantages of being treated like a Division I athlete without some of the, baggage that comes along with that. And it was very successful. We won 6 SCHH national championships. We played in 10 straight national championship games, which to me is almost a more amazing that we just never got upset along the way. Didn't win them all, as my daughter was always fond of reminding me, but it was an amazing experience, and I'm still very, very close to many of the players that I coached. Was blessed to be the band leader for some really cool players that have gone on to be very successful. And, one of them, Jeff Martha, is the CEO of Medtronic, which is the largest medical device company in the world. And it just so happens that my youngest son works for him in Minneapolis.
Well, there's a coincidence. Now, 19 years is a long time for any head coaching position. And what other things were you involved with, whether hockey related or not, during that period and thereafter, and before you got to Sun City?
Well, most importantly, through Penn State hockey, when I was a student, I met my future wife. And, Heidi, who was from Erie, Pennsylvania, and was a big hockey fan. So she was actually a volunteer for the hockey club that we had. We ended up getting married, and we raised 3 children in State College, Pennsylvania. They still talk to me, which is, one of the things I'm very proud of. So they all graduated from Penn State because I got the tuition discount. And, it's been an amazing experience. That, we got to be a part of so many really amazing events. I left coaching after 19 years because I went to work in the athletic department as the head of the what's called the Penn State Nittany Lion Club, which was the annual fundraising arm for all of Penn State sports. Back then it was 29 sports. And I worked very closely with the football program in particular. So my kids got to enjoy a pretty cool experience. A lot of bowl games, got to travel with the team, that sort of thing. And so that was a pretty special time. And then I got into major gift fundraising. And my life really changed in 2010 when Terry Pickle, who is the current owner of the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Sabres, whose son used to attend my hockey camps at Penn State, got together with him, and took 5 years to make this happen. But he gave us the largest gift ever given to Penn State, not just Penn State Athletics, but Penn State, $102 million gift to start varsity hockey and build us a $90 million hockey facility.
Fantastic. It's too bad you don't get a commission on that sale. And since you've come to Sun City, what else are you involved in here?
Well, I have fallen in love with Sun City softball. The guys, I had no intention. I hurt my shoulder back in the old church league in State College. I didn't have a glove. I didn't have a bat. I didn't have shoes, nothing. And a couple of my neighbors said, hey, you might want to give this thing a shot. So I did, and it has been a great joy, unexpected joy. I thought I'd come here and be playing golf, back here, and pickleball, and, that sort of thing, and hiking and biking, and we're doing that. I am still doing that. But it went from, playing on a Saturday league team to now I'm playing on a Tuesday, Thursday team, and I'm playing for the Sun City Seniors 60-year-old travel team, and we're getting ready to go to a tournament in Myrtle Beach. And so it's been great, and amazing friends. Yesterday after practice for our travel team, a bunch of us just went right over to Hidden Cypress and played golf. So it's really been amazing to stay involved, and I am working part-time. I say I flunked retirement. I'm an ambassador for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in the South Coastal District, so I work with May River High School predominantly, Hilton Head Christian Academy, and University of South Carolina Beaufort with coaches and athletes.
Do you have a bet at all, or do you just eschew that little luxury?
I'll tell you what, I promised that I would not just, I wanted to stay involved. Coaching has always been my love, my passion. And I even wrote a book about that.
Well, I was going to switch gears on you, and if you would like to share your book with us.
So I wrote a book called The Power of Pragmatic Passion, 7 common sense principles to help you achieve success in life. And, like any book, nobody comes up with very many original thoughts, right? Most of mine was influenced by, the John Woodens and the Joe Paternos of the world and the Herb Brookses that coached the '80 Olympics team, and Bob Johnson, who coached at Wisconsin and won a Stanley Cup with the Penguins, but also Stephen Covey, author, and I just felt compelled to put in words what I had experienced in my career and how this whole idea of just chase after your passion isn't always the best advice, right? And sometimes you got to pursue, whether it's theater, art, music, sports in my case, but not all of us get to be professionals at that. So I saw what my own kids went through with their experiences, and I thought, what, I want to help other young people and people in life transitions. Retirees who just don't know what's, I say my next book might be Tips from Pips, Previously Important People. There's lots of them here in Sunset. I am amazed every day at the dog park right over here how many people I meet and go, "You did what?" And I probably should do that and interview a lot of the people here in Sun City. We've had an amazing experience here. We've got great neighbors, great friends that we've made, and it has been a dream come true. It's everything that I would have wanted retirement to be.
That's good to hear, and I know, because I've tried to do a little writing myself, is that it's very difficult to get a thought onto paper the way you want to have people understand it and so forth. And I admire you for that. Is the book still available?
It's called The Power of Pragmatic Passion, and if you go to my website, it's just pragmaticpassion.com. You can still order the book, and don't order it on Amazon. Jeff Bezos doesn't need any more money. And I'm at the point now where I'm only speaking. I became a professional speaker. Spoke to a lot of corporations, colleges, high schools, that sort of thing. And that's my passion, is to work with young people. I want to help them, avoid the mistakes that are made, that we all made when we were younger, and maybe give them a little bit more sense of, what's your purpose as opposed to your passion, and, finding, that sometimes, your passion could be sports, but you got to get a job being an accountant or an engineer. Not everybody gets to be, you have to be world class to make a living in professional sports, college sports. So at any rate, it's been an amazing experience. The book's sold over 5,000 copies, and so for a self-published book, I'm happy with that.
Well, that's good to know. And one of the things I like about the profiles that we do of residents here is you find out things like that and things about people that you just never would have run across. You got to get out there and get involved.
And that, I refer to this as kind of the stationary cruise ship college without the classes. So much. If you can't find something to do in Sun City, shame on you. Right. And we've had friends of ours that have retired, to other places, and they come to visit us and they're just overwhelmed at all the activity and amenities here. And I know I sound like a salesperson for Sun City. So be it. I think more people need to have these kinds of experiences.
Clearly, Joe has certainly followed his own path and been a very positive influence on others. And now, one last thought for November. It is the month in which we give thanks for our many blessings and hopefully express our gratitude for our lives well lived. JFK may have put it best when he said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Well said, wouldn't you say? That's our show for November 2024. I'm Doug Wright. And I'll see y'all next month on Sports Done Right.